Hey everybody, and welcome to Let's Look at the War of the Vikings closed alpha, which is going on right now. So this just launched on Steam. I guess I'll pick a class. I kind of apologize for the weird start to this, but I wanted to get into a server before I actually started the game, just in case it was going to take a while to connect or I wouldn't be able to find one or something like that. But War of the Vikings, the spiritual successor to War of the Roses, which came out in October of 2012. It's a melee-focused, close-quarters combat game. Some of the game modes are kill-based, some of the game modes are objective-based, and War of the Vikings is the sequel. It's not set during the same time period, you know, the war between the houses of York and the houses of Lancaster. Instead, this is set in the Viking invasion of Anglo-Saxon England in, like, the 9th century. I'm hoping my Crusader King's ease is coming through there, and at least that's not too historically inaccurate. So in any case, instead of being the Yorkshireans and the Lancastrians, we instead have the Vikings and the Saxons here. So this is currently available on Steam. It's Steam Early Access, and it is in version 0.6 alpha. Oh, version 0.6 alpha. Set to enter beta. Well, there's a roadmap that will pull up in a while, but you can pick this up on Steam Early Access right now for 20 bucks. So why don't I just oh, there he is. He's juicy. Oh, this is gonna be good. That, I really thought that would be a killing blow. Please don't let me die here. That would be really embarrassing. The game mode that we're playing right now, it's almost, you can think of it like a Counter-Strike, but without the bomb defusal element. Basically, everyone gets one life. Oh, don't let me die here. Everyone get, hey, don't hit me. It's me, you scumbag! My own teammate just blew me up with an axe there. What the heck was that for? You can revive your teammates, but I doubt that that is going to happen, as he is about to get trounced here, and then probably the Hounds of Hell will come for me instead. Yeah, so basically everyone gets one life. If you get knocked down, you can be revived, which is why all these guys are going to great effort to kill me. This guy's not aiming quite well. It's supposed to be like realistic mapping, so if you end up not actually like hitting them in the face with your axe, you're not going to kill them or you're not going to do any damage. It looks a little janky right now, but the animations in this are well improved with the collision compared to War of the Roses. This guy's name is Lothbrok, which makes me think that he is probably going to be amazing. Jarl Martiko Lothbrok. This game was made for you, for sure. So we have some extra combat going on here. When Danro dies, which is probably how this will go, because he's got a numbers disadvantage, even if he just falls through the level. Oh, man. He will be killed. Looks like Harry Penner didn't actually know that he killed me, but in any case. Yes, if you fall into certain parts of the water, you die. I think that's working as intended, though. There is a team deathmatch mode in this as well. This is called Arena. So we have 3 classes. I'm going to have to choose quickly. Thane is like your all-around class. Huskarl, or Housekarl, I guess, is a little bit more of an assault class. And your Herdman is your archer's class. I like playing all 3 of them, actually. They all have their own kind of unique characteristics. I should point out here as we get started, in terms of War of the Roses, I'm probably one of the few people that really thought War of the Roses was better than Chivalry. Oh, we can just sneak behind him here. And that's an opinion. Oh, God, they found me. We can bandage up here. I've wasted, like, half of my thrown weapons already. Please tell me they're not coming for me. That's an opinion that not too many people hold, so you should keep that in mind, like, as we get started here, that we might be coming at this from different elements. I didn't think War of the Roses was a perfect game. Oh, missed him. I didn't think War of the Roses was a perfect game by any stretch of the imagination, but I did think it was a little bit more... a little bit less silly than Chivalry. Not that, you know, a game like this being silly is necessarily a bad thing. Run for your life. This is not good for me. Maybe I can catch him off guard. Oh, no, I'm gonna die. Not that a game like this being silly is necessarily a bad thing, but I thought War of the Roses strived a little bit more for realism as opposed to insanity, and I thought that served it well. This guy's got like an arm tremor. And so far, War of the Vikings, again, you know, it's an evolution and a refinement of the War of the Roses formula, but it's certainly not something that is going to, at least in its current state, probably convince people who are unconvinced by War of the Roses that this is a franchise worth spending a lot of time with compared to, you know, the other competitor who obviously we probably don't even need to name at this point. That being said, improvements to War of the Vikings from War of the Roses, everything seems to move a lot faster, and I really like that, I mean, there's not really objective-based game modes in the game yet. Maybe there will be at some point. There's, like, Conquest coming soon. I assume that's capture areas A through C and hold them, kind of like it was in War of the Roses. But there's kind of, like, tighter focus on combat and killing and faster rounds, and in particular, smaller maps has really enhanced my kind of enjoyment of the game so far. Relative to how it was in War of the Roses. Because in that, I always felt like, you know, you spawn, and then it's confusing to find out where the objective is. You have to sometimes get on a horse and then, you know, ride 45 minutes into battle. This time, you know, watch how we spawn. The enemies are right over there, and that's probably partly a consequence of the fact that we are on, or we are playing a basically deathmatch type mode here, but also it just feels like kind of a refinement of, or a tightening is maybe better to avoid using the same R word over and over again. A tightening of the mechanics that I liked reasonably well. Oh, I missed him there. That I liked reasonably well in War of the Roses. That almost hit me. I do have some complaints. We'll talk about those after we finish this round. And of course, all of my complaints do need to be kind of tempered with the fact that this is early access. Everything is subject to change. Could get better, could get worse. As always, I absolve all responsibility and encourage you to do your own research. Hey, we finished that guy off, so we got some extra experience. Okay. We finished that guy off is something I would prefer you didn't take out of context. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I do think we get hurt if you run in the fire, by the way, which is historically accurate. As far as I remember, I believe it was the 12th century when fire started to burn you. Actually, I'm a total poser now because this game does take place before the 12th century. This is a convenient segue to talk about what I'm not necessarily super fond of in the current state of the game, and that is that there's a very limited degree of kind of variability and customization so far. That's something that's set to come later, but there's only 3 classes. Crossbowman has been removed, so you're no longer using a crossbow. I guess that's kind of in the interest of historical accuracy. Let's play as the Thane again. I like all 3 classes, though, I will say that. And I kind of alternate between them fairly Oh my god, that was a great arrow. I also like that thrown weapons have been added, but there, as of yet, seems to be a lot less customization, but I'm assuming that's something that's coming later. But, you know, we did get introduced to War of the Vikings at the Magical Wizard Wars event that I went to in July, and confirmed that there will be... Oh, he's going to totally come back to life. Confirmed that there are no horses in the game, again, due to historical accuracy. Hopefully I can get this guy to take some aggro and I can bandage up here. I don't think he's going to give me the time, unfortunately. I can dodge out of the way, and I can attack while dodging. But there is also, like... Oh, we both did the attack while dodging, actually. There is totally a perk system in the game as well. I have, like, 1 HP. If I die, please tell my wife I love her. Yes! Okay, so I'll finish this dude. He opted to kill himself. And I'll bandage up here, because I might be the last person left alive. Okay, nope, no time for bandaging. Oh, maybe we can get lucky and this guy will fall in the water. Oh, no, we still have our own teammate. The friendly fire is, like, totally on. I'm going to bandage up here. So, yeah, there is a perk system like Call of Duty. I assume that that is going to be unlocked with in-game gold or in-game experience. One of the things that was kind of harped upon when War of the Roses came out is that it's got kind of a confusing unlock system where the damage that you do is converted to experience and score, and then you also get in-game gold depending on your performance. Which is a little bit confusing from an like RPG element standpoint, but I believe that's how it's going to work. But as of right now, I think all of the perk stuff is static, so basically everyone is on exactly the same level. And to be quite honest with you, although I kind of cited that as a negative, that there's not that much customization, I kind of like it. It gives me less to think about, which... the negative here is almost that it's going to change, because I appreciate that this is kind of like, as of right now, in a relatively pure-ish state where everybody's on a level playing field. I'm not necessarily suggesting this is a game where, you know, if you put 12 hours into it, you'll be better just by virtue of the fact that you have more items because you've grinded for gold a little bit more. But that might be something that could concern you, because there are multiple kind of tiers right now where you can buy into the game, and some of them include extra in-game items and maybe a bonus cache of in-game gold as well. That was really good. I haven't talked too in-depth about the combat system of the game so far, but it is similar to War of the Roses, where basically WASD to move around. You have a shift sprint, or you tap shift to sprint or hold shift to sprint. This guy's gonna get fucked. The archer is obviously good from afar, but afar from good up close. Jafar from good. That guy's gonna be killed. And also the other thing I want to point out is that these tighter maps do make, not that there's still not a prevalence of ranged characters, but they do make ranged combat a little bit less viable, to the point where, you know, sometimes in War of the Roses it's just like 20 crossbow and longbowmen per team. In this, it seems like it's a little bit more weighted on the side of balance, where hand-to-hand and close quarters melee combatants, I guess is the correct word there, seem to be a little bit more of the focus. But again, keep in mind this is all in about 3 to 4 hours of play total, about an hour of which is in this mode, or sorry, in this version of the game, and then like 2 or 3 hours with the alpha version of the game, which we were playing back in like August. Not much has changed since then, at least on the surface that is easy to tell so far. I'm sure there's stuff that's happened behind the scenes. And there's different maps now. And to be honest with you, the maps that are in the early access version of the game right now that I've played, I haven't enjoyed quite as much as the maps that were in the alpha version that we were playing this summer. Oh god, I'm gonna get fucking killed here. Alright, so lots of archers on the other side of the map. I want to close distance on them, but unfortunately for me, first, this guy's gotta die. And in order to do that, oh god, I am gonna have to do something creative here. So the balance here is supposed to be that as a Thane, he has a shield, but my axe does a ton of damage. I was very lucky to get away there. As I run, I can be tackled, so, you know, this is really something you want to do exclusively as a last resort. Yeah, I've been tackled and will now be gang killed. Yep, didn't even get to do an attack there. If there were 6 people on me, where the heck is my other teammate? As you will often see in War of the Vikings, it seems like there's a lot of times where, you know, as a melee class, archers kind of leave you to hang out to dry. I mean, I don't necessarily want them to get involved in the combat, but it can be frustrating to be like, okay, 6 guys are killing me, and then there's just my archer on the other side of the map just trying to fire arrows in vain. I don't know what else he could have done. I've been that archer before, but it seems like this inevitability was kind of going to happen. Yeah, I'm not going to talk too much about the other tiers that you can buy into the game at. $20 is basically the base version of the game. It gives you access to the game right now. You can play it, and then you get the final version, of course, when it comes out as well as all the builds along the way. By the way, this is best of 9, so first person to 5 wins. There is like a $150 version, which comes with a bunch of bonuses in the form of digital art books, in-game gold, a couple of in-game items as well, I think. And then there's a tier in the middle, but you'll have to do your own research on those. So, as we get into our game here, I guess it's time to talk about overall impressions on War of the Vikings from a traditional Let's Look At standpoint. So if you're the kind of person who was... Let's tackle this from the 3 possible people that you could be. You're the kind of person who did not play War of the Roses or Chivalry, and you're wondering if this is worth buying into. Basically, if it looks cool to you, that it pretty much delivers. Please don't block me in here. It pretty much delivers on exactly the concept that is advertised on the box. It's fun. Occasionally, the animations can look a little janky. Occasionally, the game can be a little bit frustrating because there are people that are amazing and will kill you, and your teammates often just cut your Achilles heel off and leave you to bleed out. By the way, I can be rescued here. There is a revival system. It's not looking like it's going to work out too well for me here, though. Yeah, we're dead already. Yeah, but for 20 bucks, you're going to get fun out of this. It's kind of like, you could think of it like a casual first-person shooter that you can jump into, but instead of it being a first-person shooter, it's a multiplayer close-quarters combat game. If you were the kind of person who played War of the Roses and didn't really like it, then is this for you? That depends. Is a refinement or a polishing of that original formula enough to bring you back? Because that's what this is in its current state. There's new things like thrown weapons. The combat does feel chunkier, which is good. It no longer feels like you're really just kind of flailing into the air and the computer is telling you whether or not you hit. There's often times where you're like, okay, I smoked that dude. And like the hit detection is a lot better, it seems. So I'm going to die here. And I do think the matches move quicker, which was a problem with War of the Roses. And if all of that is enough to get you to sign on, then yeah, absolutely. It's War of the Roses, but better, in my opinion. And if you're the kind of person who played War of the Roses and super didn't like it, then I don't think this is for you, obviously. But you probably already know that. We are getting our asses kicked. So that's my overall impressions of it so far right now. It's fun. I thought War of the Roses was fun. I think this is more fun and different enough to also justify the asking price if this is the kind of thing that you're into. But it is going to be something you're going to have to look at on a case-by-case basis. And, of course, the traditional caveats with Steam Early Access do apply. Oh, that felt so good. He was probably tweeting about how good his last round went. Oh, shit. Okay. Darren Sharper. One of the most hardest hidden house Carls in the realm. But I put the squad on my back. There is still a squad system in this. There was a squad system in War of the Roses as well that I barely understood, and it's coming back. I don't totally understand how it works, but we were told that... Oh, God, I hit my teammate there. We were told that the kind of squad system would be a little bit less ambiguous with this, and the meaning of things like auras and battle cries and stuff like that for squad commanders is actually going to be really lampshaded in the sense that it's going to be telegraphed visually what's going on. Okay, I don't like... Oh, God! Run for your life. I am dead. It really does also feel like the game, it might seem like it's a little bit luck-based right now. People just kind of flailing around, throwing their limbs out there. But this is very much a skill-based game, which a lot of people, I think, don't give it credit for. They jump into a game like this for like 45 minutes, and they're like, oh, you know, it's just people, everyone's just kind of swinging their axes, and whoever gets killed, you know, it's based on a dice roll. That is definitely not the case. The better you are at this game, the greater the skill gulf will be, and if someone is like 25% better than you, they seem to beat you consistently. Like, there are seriously people who are really good at this game already. I guess they were probably pretty into War of the Roses as well. And, you know, it has that standard kind of community where sometimes people get a little bit bent out of shape already. And you saw that guy earlier. He's like, noob team. You're like, the game's been in early access for a day. It's been in early access for a day. Just relax, man. Go back to your History of the Middle Ages book. That'll still be there, you know. Find a good writer or something like that. Everyone will get good at this. Eventually, this game will get cheese to hell. For now, let's just enjoy it. By the way, the shield blocking is supposed to be realistic, which means I'm just going to kind of camp here and cover up as much of my body as possible. And hopefully, I will be able to avoid getting killed in my teeth. Don't bandage! Stab this dude in the heart! Yes! Turtling tactics win! I can't believe it! It was the greatest performance I've ever had in War of the Vikings, and I mean that only half joking. Okay, let's take a housecarl and maybe be a little bit more aggressive here. I don't know if there are more classes coming, but I will, after a couple more rounds, maybe after this match is over, I will bring up the beta roadmap, or sorry, early access roadmap that they have in the game right now. And I don't know if I want to just run down the center here. I probably shouldn't just waste my all of my thrown weapons right off the bat either. It seems like those could probably be of greater use to me if I use them later. Whoop. That was probably not the right idea to just jump into enemy lines. I am going to be de-throated here in just a second. There we go. They actually got me. Revivals do happen, even though they haven't happened over the course of the video so far, but they do happen occasionally. Depends on how your team's doing. If your team is, like, coming from behind... Oh, the camera's freaking out a little bit there. If your team's coming from behind and, you know, your body is behind enemy lines, it's probably pretty likely that you're going to get destroyed before your team gets you. But yeah, in terms of things that are coming to the game, just off the top of my head, blood effects are coming soon. I believe they're doing updates every 2 weeks or 2 updates per month. So blood effects are coming soon. Shield paint is coming eventually, so you can kind of customize your own look. There's also going to be an extra loadout slot. I think that's one of the newest things that's coming as well. So you might have the opportunity as your classes to kind of customize which item you're going to take. Maybe you don't want to take throwing knives when you are, or throwing machetes, whatever they are, when you are the housecarl. Maybe you want to take the axes instead. I don't know. But I will bring up that roadmap as well. So, that was a special move for the archer, by the way. It allows him to do kind of a spinorama attack. I've seen a little bit of cheesing, a little bit of exploiting. I'm not sure if it's exploiting or if it's just like a good tactic in the meta right now, but where like archers just hole up on the dock on this level and then just shoot arrows, and then when enemies come, they do the spinning attack and it gives them knockback and knocks the enemies off the dock and into the water. Again, I don't have the data to necessarily say that that is an exploit, but in my anecdotal experience so far, I have seen that happening an awful lot cross-server. Let's see if we can actually survive here. How am I doing anyway? 2 and 4 is honestly better than I usually do in War of the Vikings thus far. Scum the camera angle a little bit here. Hey, there we go. Oh, you scum lord! My own teammate sold me out there and then died on the rocks. This is a game for sure where oftentimes your own team is your own worst enemy. Like, there's been innumerable situations where, you know, one person on my team kills an enemy and then 4 people go over to try to be the one to get the experience for cutting his throat and finishing him off, and then they end up just like stabbing each other in the legs and one of them dies, which is incredibly frustrating, but I don't necessarily hold that against the game. I think that's more everyone on the internet, myself included, is a dumbass. I've been one of the guys that stabbed my teammates in the calf and killed them before. It looks like we are going to get rocked here. So we have probably 2 more rounds here. Maybe 1 more now, which is going to be a convenient length of time for this video. By the way, there are 2 modes in the early access game so far. I've seen this, which is Arena, which I think is by far the most intriguing game mode and the most fun to play because it's kind of quick and rapid fire. But there is also Team Deathmatch, which is basically like first team to 100 kills. And it's got the same kind of system where I believe if you die, I only played it for like 15 minutes in all honesty, but if you die, you have the option to kind of give up and respawn, or Oh, I hit him in the shield there. That's unfortunate. Or you have the opportunity to wait to get resurrected. Oh, my God. He got stabbed in the heart and killed. There are some, like, you don't always, the first time you get hit, you don't always get merely knocked down. Sometimes you actually do get straight up killed if they, like, stab you in the brainstem. There are also decapitations. Oh, he killed his teammate. Well, he knocked him down, at least. Obviously, I had no chance there. But, hey, another person died in the process. Oh, no, this guy's going to kill me. Yeah, he doesn't F around. This tap guy, he seems to know what's up. But yeah, also a team deathmatch mode. It seems like most of the servers are running team deathmatch, but maybe it's just that the arena servers are full, so I had them set to filter out. Which is a shame, because team deathmatch, it's fun. It's reasonably fun, at least. I think it's a lot less fun than arena. But it's, I don't know, subpar, not subpar relative to other team deathmatch modes necessarily, but I think arena is definitely kind of the definitive War of the Vikings experience so far. Again, there are more modes coming later, but this is representative of the kind of early access experience. And just in terms of the early access ecosystem on Steam, oh my God, this guy just, is he seriously hitting his teammate over and over, or are those... Yep, he is hitting his teammate over and over. In terms of the early access kind of ecosystem on Steam, this is definitely one of the more polished early access games out there. Oh, that was a nasty way to die. We're going to jump out of this battle here when I get the opportunity and go to the main menu, and I will show you the early access roadmap. I might actually have to load into the next server and pick a class and then get out. And you'll be able to see what the roadmap is for this game coming out. And again, if you're not sold right now, I totally encourage you to wait and you know, see how the game develops. I'll probably be doing another video as it gets closer to release, and I'm sure that Josh, Nick, and I are going to be playing this on the Northernlion Live Super Show as well. So you'll be able to see a decent amount of gameplay if you are interested in that. So we're going to leave the battle here, and we'll take a quick look at the early access roadmap, and then we'll call it quits on the video. So there is a how to play setup as well, which probably in the comments people are going to tell me that I need to know. Anyway, this is the early access roadmap. So the next update, you can see there's going to be some locked loadouts. Usually as you get in-game gold and in-game experience, you can unlock loadouts and then just choose them on the fly. Yes, arena and team deathmatch. There's going to be another new map, Gauntlet. I've seen like one class running Gauntlet, I think. And then we have other updates coming. So character customization is starting soon. Weapon looting, which is actually something I meant to bring up because I think it's going to be cool after you kill an enemy to be able to take whatever thrown weapons they had, or if you like find thrown weapons on the ground, you can use those for yourself. It makes sense from a realistic standpoint, and if it makes sense from a balance standpoint, then I would love to see that included as well. Blood effects, spears and javelins. Coming somewhere in October, or starting somewhere in October, I guess. Battle chatter, I assume, is just going to be the things that your teammates and yourself yell at the enemy. And also some squad system stuff and UI tutorial, which is probably necessary closer to launch, but not now. In any case, the release is set for somewhere in Q1 of 2014. That is probably when I will formally check back on this in the same kind of context that I'm looking at it now. But this is going to do it for this Let's Look At of the early access release, the alpha version 0.6 of War of the Vikings. So, again, just to kind of summarize my thoughts, if you're into War of the Roses, this is, in my opinion, a better, tighter, faster version of War of the Roses that you would probably be smart to check out. If you were on the fence, it depends how on the fence about War of the Roses you were. If you were a very large detractor of the game, of which there are, you know, more than a few people, this probably isn't, like, revolutionary enough to convince you, but if you were kind of, you know, iffy on it, if they made some changes, you'd be more into it. This is something that I encourage you to check out. In any case, as always, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to click the like button. It does help me spread my thoughts with the rest of YouTube. And, of course, subscribe if you want to see more First Impressions videos. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.